How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do this mission called Block Alpha. It's a bit of a base. It was nearly going to be a two-parter, but managed to do a little bit of editing, and yeah, I was able to fit it all in. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, so there's a couple of trucks I'm going to be using, like Dolphin, the P16, the Tatra, Bruce. Yeah, there's quite a lot of things I need basically. Is there like cement, oil barrels, packaged sand, concrete blocks, wooden planks, medium pipes, metal beams. So first thing I'm going to do is run down to that warehouse in the corner and grab quite a lot of stuff, to be honest, like the cement, the concrete blocks, the oil barrels, and then yeah, you got to take them to like that giant factory place kind of in the middle of the map. It's a good start when I'm already in reverse instead of forward. Yeah, so for this one, and normally, as you know, I really don't like to use this trailer, but I'm taking the 8 slot because for the first stage of this mission, so obviously you got to do like, yeah, the first stage. You can't deliver stuff from the second stage until you've done the first stage. It won't allow you to drop it off or anything, but you can at least take it there. And for the first stage, I need, is it like 2 concrete blocks, 4 cement, and 2 oil barrels. So that's 8 slots, which will fill this trailer. But then for the stage 2 of the mission, I need another 2 concrete blocks, so I'm going to try and bring 10 slots of cargo to the warehouse thing with me. Yeah, and then as well, I'm going to kind of jump off the side of the mountain here. Overall, it does save me quite a lot of time. Like, I've basically left the garage and sort of followed the road winding down the mountain, but then you'll sort of see just up ahead of me is like, you'll be able to see the bridge. So yeah, I just cut kind of straight down the mountain through these trees. Obviously, again, would rather not be doing this with an 8 slot trailer. But later on I can kind of show you how much time it saved, I suppose, because I end up having to drive the longer way for part of the mission, grabbing some of the stuff. And I did get a little bit stuck now, nothing crazy, I just stuck a winch to the back of the trailer and then to a tree and dragged myself forward, but again, just to try and keep the time down on this a little bit. Bit of editing going on, yeah. I was there for probably, like, I don't know, an extra 30-40 seconds. Like, I wouldn't say I got properly badly stuck or anything like that, where it was getting a bit annoying or anything. Just had to fling a few winches out and we're good to go. And part of the reason, this is why I wanted to use the Dolphin for this one, is for various bits of the mission, like there's roads where I can put it in high range and motor along. Like, I've kind of got free range fuel trailers scattered around and whatnot. I've got a goddamn horse vehicle with me, so fuel wise I'll be alright. And yeah, even in like sections like this, probably not this specific patch as it's a bit of a rough one, I can just sit in high gear and it's a lot quicker than like the Zikz, Bruce, or anything in the advanced special gearbox really. That new Tatra as well, that's got the advanced special. I have drove through there before in high gear with the Dolphin, but there's a few rocks at the side and it's one of them, if you get a nice line and get a bit lucky you can sort of plough your way through there. If not, you can catch a rock at a bit of a bad angle or whatever, and yeah, it'll slow you down a bit. But overall it still feels a lot better to just cut round the well, depending which way you're going, left or right, but the way I just did, if you go straight through the middle, it feels like death mud in the middle in that watery section. And the Zikz can very, very slowly crawl through there, but yeah, it just feels a little bit over the top, to be honest, so cutting around that edge sort of feels about right. But again now, can yeah, drop it back in high range. Stevie Wonder, still on the left. Nearly recovered him the other day. He's got about 50 litres of fuel in him, so I could have robbed that now if I wanted. But I'm already in high gear. And again, this is another part of the section where obviously it's like a little bit boggy here, nothing too crazy. Yeah, most trucks, particularly when they're towing the 8 slot trailer as well, wouldn't sit in high along here, and obviously all stuff like Bruce, the Zikz, etc, etc are all in the advanced special. They'd probably sit in like 4th out of 5th gear or something. Maybe if you got it started in 5th gear going into the mud, they might stay in 5th. But I still think this is quicker. I could have done with a couple of Dolphins really, but the other ones are on Northern Aegis at the minute, and I could have recovered them, it's just then the amount of effort to drive something all the way back from Erskine to Northern Aegis, I may as well just leave them there. And yeah, save myself sort of time down the line. And yeah, overall I thought this mission was pretty cool. Like, this map overall was pretty nice, well balanced for the most part. There is the odd little bit, but out of all the maps, I'd say this has got the least trollish parts on it. Like, there's just the literally one or two little bits that are a bit awkward. But yeah, we're already about 5 minutes. We made it here. And the nice thing is with this factory, like I said, why I brought a 8 slot is because I can grab like quite a chunk of the mission sort of done already just by the amount of stuff I can get here. Yeah, there's one of my like free range maintenance trailers, so got fueled up on that. And yeah, I believe I need 2 concrete blocks. Was it 2 oil barrels? And then 4 cement. And then for stage 2, another 2 concrete blocks. So I just spawn them on the loading platform and put them both on my head like that, and then as you can see, still kind of pinch the crane down on top of them. See, it's stuff like this where the 8 slot just doesn't fit in with the way they design these maps. To be honest, I think they make a lot of the entrances to little yards and that on this just overly awkward for the hell of it. Not that they're like the most difficult thing. With this 8 slot it's a bit awkward. But yeah, some nice sweeping entrances would be nice instead. Yeah, that's the more like the 8 slot just gets caught on that, but there's not really a lot I could do. I went about as wide as I can go, so again, tiny little edit there, just save 10-15 seconds with me reversing up and just keep flooring it and ramming it through until something happens. But again, we can get our foot down, and you can even see though, as I was snagging the trailer on that sort of yard exit, the concrete blocks on my roof, they didn't shake loose or anything like that. As I said, as long as you pinch them down with a crane as well, they're pretty, they stay on there pretty well. It was close. I was hoping to stay in high range. Well, I'll be trying to get back in high range. But it's about as loaded as you can be without having like a road train situation. 10 slots of cargo, a crane, and a goddamn horse. Like I said, he doesn't weigh anything when he doesn't want to. It's his choice. Back in high range, so it's all good. I was thinking about as well when I was doing this, like, is it worth taking maybe some bits and bobs that I need for like the next lot of the missions? Because like I said, after this one's called Block Alpha or something. The next one's Block Beta and then Block Gamma or something, and they're all to the same drop-off point. They might be a different location within the factory, but just, yeah, get to the factory with it. But to be honest, I sort of had like all my trailers filled about as much as I could anyway. Got to find that blend of like taking as much as you can, but also I want to kind of be efficient with. Yeah, I like road trains and stuff, but road trains don't usually let you go as fast as I am at the minute, so I do like to get my foot down a bit as well. So I'm sure a little while back I drove a Dolphin through like just the middle there instead of veering off to the right in this case, and I'm pretty sure it just got bogged down in that mud. Quite a few vehicles have, to be honest. Again, I think it was only the Zikz that got through there, and that didn't have any cargo at the time, and it was like pretty damn slow, to the point where I'd probably just start trying to fling winches out anyway. Could be a rock I'll tucked on, or you never know though with this 8 slot, that's the thing. Those legs could have found something to dig into. They usually do. Overall not that bad though. And that's probably one of the worst. That's what I mean, like little sections like that. I actually don't mind that because they've given you a pretty good alternative to just cut around it. So I don't really mind that it's sort of trollish in the middle. That's what we need. A bit of high range. So this 8-slot trailer, like whenever that's going through snow or mud at the back, that's what's dragging like an absolute beast. It's like a super anchor. It's probably even worse than the ramp flatbed. But again, it is double the cargo, and it's fully loaded, so I appreciate it's got quite a lot of weight to it at the minute. It would have been nice to stay in the high range though. Could have motored up here a bit quicker. You can hear, like, that's the thing these days, as soon as I'm in auto. I even went to low range then, which it isn't any quicker. Normally I don't bother, but they've just seemed to have purposely broke the auto so much going uphill. You're just constantly trying to jump into second, can't handle second, drops back to first. Sort of stalls all your speed out and momentum and everything. We're getting there. I'm pretty sure at some point the trailer tries to start getting caught on the brow of the hill, as it likes to do. There we go. To be honest, they might have actually at least done something to fix those legs digging in as much as they do, because they can certainly still fully catch and hook in, but I'm pretty sure when I was using it, like when it first come out and I was using it on flooded foothills, it was every other bump on the entire map that it would hook in to the point that that's it, it's locked. Like no amount of winch power pulling me forwards, road train, anything. It was just hooked. For the most part, it kind of skids its way over now, so they may have done something to it, I don't know. I still don't like it, but like when I used it on flooded foothills, man, it was brutal how often I got stuck. And in the end I worked out that any time I used the 8-slot trailer, the missions would just take me way longer, and I'd have to winch 50 to 100 times just trying to get over little bumps and all sorts. Trying to like winch from one side of the trailer to the other side into the trees to tip it up to the left and then tip it up to the right to try and sort of seesaw the legs over the little brow of a hill. And again, they know full well we've got to bring a shitload of cargo here, and they give you a little narrow road leading up to it, a sharp 90-degree turn, and then a load of bloody concrete blocks and bars all over the entrance. Nearly. I have no doubt that goddamn horse or vehicle is probably the only thing keeping that trailer upright. He knows what he's doing. That's why you bring him along. And then to top it up, look at it. A little tiny gap I've got to get through. I was pretty sure they weren't, but I had to know. I'm sure I'll try and ram this little cargo container, yeah. It would have helped if it just bumped out of the way. So, that's most of the first stage done. Still got those two, which, like I say, now I just reversed out of there, tried to sort of get the trailer out of the way of the entrance so I can still sweep other trucks in. Get it on an angle like that, because then I can reach the trailer, pack it, and then yeah, that's, like I said, ready for stage 2, so at least I don't have to just go back to that same warehouse thing in the corner. The next mission, I've got a couple to do. I'm going to do the P16 down to that corner to get medium pipes, and the Tatra's going to get package sand, which is the 2 I need to finish stage 1, and then also metal beams. And yeah, like I said, I'm taking the P16. I wanted to see how well it was doing. Old ambulance just went flying past. It's funny actually, because you'll sort of see now, I can show you both trucks like on the same bit of terrain, and yeah. Well, see what you make of it, I suppose. Thought I may as well just do this bit separate. I'll cut it out where I sort of bring that one over, but yeah, it's really tippy there, so that Tatra was already cut in the corner quite a lot. And I was only trying to road train them for a bit, just to, I suppose, save doing the drive like 2 or 3 times. In the end, again, I didn't make a video yesterday because it was whilst doing this. Yeah, I basically fell asleep again on the sofa. But by the time I woke up, you'll see what I found out when I woke up, and I was like, oh, I'm going to bed. Abort mission. I was going quite well, but then as soon as I got to here, even though the engine I'm pretty sure is still on the Tatra, it just felt like I was going really slow, so I'm just going to cut ahead a little bit to where I turn. All I did was follow that road a bit further down, kind of veer off to the right, and then now I go off the road. Lo's hanging on. Give that tree a slap. It was probably on the list. Yeah. I disconnected the Tatra. I'll just drive it separately and sort of edit the footage out. I wasn't in the mood for going that slow. And this is one of the reasons I like driving the P16. Obviously it's a beast, it's got the best horn and all the rest of it, but yeah, it's still one of those trucks that the weight feels good on it, so it's like when you're driving around, I feel like it behaves quite realistically. Or again, not that I've driven one of these trucks so I'd know, but it behaves on what I imagine is quite realistic, which is all it needs to achieve, because I don't know any better. Yeah, flew in there. Basically, I thought, because there's a place where I can build medium pipes, I thought I needed the small pipes and metal beams. Hence why I just went there with the P16 and grabbed that. And you'll see though, as we're coming down here, going through like this section, and this is pretty boggy here. It's not like light off-roading or something. That wasn't an edit there, it must have been a little tiny glitch. But yeah, especially considering the P16 is like not even all-wheel drive. And again, this to me sort of just feels pretty like fair and decent, and that's where like between the P16's got like unique tyres that are grippier than the average tyres, like Yogi Bear tyres, and again, because it's got a lot of weight, it sort of generates its own grip via being very planted into the ground, so through sections like that it does a lot better than you think, considering, yeah, like I said, it's not even all-wheel drive, and it's not got muds or chained, it's all-terrain, I think. To be fair, the all-terrain aren't terrible tyres. I'd still prefer like either the muds or the chained, but I don't dislike the all-terrain or anything like that. So again, yeah, got slowed down a little bit at the start, but once I got going, ticking along just fine through there. I didn't need any winches or anything to help me out. And oh yeah, where basically, not long after I came out of that yard where I got this stuff from, when I originally drove off that cliff with the Dolphin at the beginning with the 8 slot to cut out, basically going the long way round. This is the long way round, but obviously I had to nip to the yard for this one, so it was worth going the long way round, but I would have had to have like wound down that mountain, cut down that snowy hill that I did with this, and then instead of turning like right and up to the yard, I would have just gone left, but then that's all the way down this road, all through that muddy section I just went through. And you can just see quite far in the distance really, the bridge, and that's where I popped out with the Dolphin, so it does save like, it was worth it. It was worth 30 or 40 seconds of messing around with the winch to get the 8 slot through there. And I reckon if I went down with a normal trailer, like the sideboard semi-trailer or something, I could have just cut straight through. Probably wouldn't be able to get up there. I don't know, but yeah, obviously no chain, so just use the bank along the edge. So the only time really that all-wheel drive would be nice on the P16 is when you hit a rock or something with your front tyres. They're obviously making zero effort because they're not spinning, like they're not actively being driven. They don't try and climb their way up a rock. You're just like pushing from the back and hoping that it'll naturally bump up it, but a lot of the time it just acts like a wheel chuck, I suppose. It's like what you'd do to stop a car rolling away or whatever. Yeah, to my left now is where I popped out with the Dolphin, so it does save. It was worth it. Lo4f is hanging on for dear life. He's hanging in there. I'll have me P16 fuel fuel rations and repairs. And yeah, I don't know how well it comes across on the video, but like I said, just with the P16 like feeling really weighty, which is quite a rare thing in this game for whatever reason. Like, not a lot of vehicles feel heavy enough, and this is one that does feel heavy enough, and it's yeah, good. Like I said, it just plays out sort of nicer in the way it drives. So I'm going to get to this point and kind of drop it off now. And again, like I said, imagine that I basically had a Tatra behind me in a road train up to this point. So, took the Tatra down to the same yard. There's 2 package sand I need to finish off this stage. There's 2 metal beams that I'll need for the next stage. And we'll cut a bit ahead, but this is coming down to the same mud section that I just went through in the P16. And I suppose, to be fair, the only difference is this has got 2 package sand, so it's got 6 cargo, not 4. But I will say, having said that, there's probably more an advantage at this point, because I'm towing a trailer as well. It's probably better to have more weight on my vehicle, because again it plants it in and sort of has more grip. But yeah, as you can see, it's like the biggest thing is because they haven't given this thing diffs always on. I'm in low range with the diffs on, but even now, even with the custom muds, it's, I don't know. I think part of it is weight. Like, it's not the heaviest of vehicles, but you can see that I've just drove past the P16, so this is where I would have split them up at this point. And like I said, I'm not hating on this thing. It's like, well, I've tried driving it a fair bit sort of recently because it's one of the newest vehicles and that, but yeah, it's not my favourite. I still prefer like the Dolphin. That new Zikz as well, that's I do like that. It's got its charms. Still would like a custom mud chained. To be honest, they should make custom muds just available for everything, and yeah, also make a chained version of them by now, because grip I think is a bit of a biggie in this game. Like, if they upped all the values, it could change how the game behaves quite easily. So those concrete slabs, they always go flying over them. It always makes me think, because I didn't take any damage on them, and you never do. I always go flying over them, and I still have never took any damage off them. Yeah, Chinokaments seems to be the only map where you don't take damage off these concrete blocks. So it makes me wonder, like, with the maps where you do take damage, do they patch that in, so to speak, so you take damage off it, or have they specifically patched it out on this map, or did they just forget to patch it in on this map? I genuinely don't know. I'm curious. It reminds me, it makes me think of it every time I don't take damage on them. Like, I wonder what way round it is. If they forgot this time, or they just sort of didn't patch it out last time. So I've kind of half blocked the other entrance with a big fat 8-slot trailer. Thankfully that was the only 8-slot I needed to use. The rest, as you can see, I'm bringing more normal sized trailers. Yeah, so 2 package sand, get them done. Get a little animation on the go. Quite a lot built, and then yeah, 2 metal beams. And then I'll do a bit of editing, but is the Dolphin back with the 8-slot to drop those 2 concrete blocks off that he wore on his head? It was definitely worth it. It saved me another trip back to there. So sort of park them out of the way in the corner. And then back to the P16, which, like I said, I was heading down to the garage in the the warehouse in the corner. Where I went with the Dolphin, there's like a warehouse next to it that I can theoretically build medium pipes. What else can you build there? I think you can build bricks there, which you need, I'm sure that's cement and packaged sand. Might be metal beams you can build there, which that's kind of useless because the yard I went to with this P16, I've got unlimited metal beams. So going through there, I did get like stuck basically. I wouldn't say stuck, I was like knocked up against a rock. I probably could have reversed, etc. But yeah, I just stuck a winch out, pulled myself over the rock. And again though, once I was past the rock, like the P16 drove through there pretty comfortably. As you can see as well, at some point the loaf had shifted. He's having a nap. His work here is done. Again, that saddle high on the back of the P16 kind of works pretty well. It's like a little seat for the loaf. You can either hook him on the top of the truck like I did do. I wouldn't specifically recommend laying him like this, but if you just sit him straight on the back of the P16 as well, he kind of sits on that saddle high, like that's like a little stand. It sort of lifts his tyres off the floor just enough that he sits on there pretty well. Anyway, there's Stevie Wonder. Trying to get up into high early there, but it was having it. I'm in there now though. There's a good old horn. Every now and then. It's one of the few vehicles where I just intermittently press it every now and then. It needs to be done. See, like there, it looked like it was about to die in high, but keep it pinned, fingers crossed, we made it. And that's why I think that weight does help. I'm pretty sure the P16's one of the heaviest vehicles in the game. I don't think it's quite as heavy as the clubs, if I remember correctly, but it's certainly pretty far up there. That's definitely what she said. Another possibly icy hill. I don't know if I could get up there, but again, I'll just kind of swing over to the left, stick a few tyres in the snow just to be safe. I can definitely confirm, like, these tyres, even though they're unique tyres, they don't get up icy hills in any way if it's steep enough and all the rest of it. Like, again, if you're not towing trailers and all the rest of it and you've got your momentum going, you can get up some of the icy hills pretty easily. So when I was coming down here with the Dolphin, I turned right. Now I'm going to go to left instead. And this, I blame it. I could see it happening now, and I just didn't want to let go of the throttle. Knocked me goddamn horse off. and even worse than that. Yeah, I think I woke up and then drove the P16 here and then realised it's metal rolls I need, not metal beams. And I was like, oh, vault mission. So then today, yeah, I've got to go right to that garage in like the top right hand corner and then all the way down to the warehouse in the bottom left hand corner. So a bit of a massive trek. Took Bruce and a goddamn horse, of course. That's just a quick look at the paint job of like what you've got with Season 2. Yeah, the game tried trolling me along the way. I've edited most of this out, but you'll see, fires ice out, and look, about to fall over, the loaf jumps off, that kind of fires my weight back the opposite way, and I don't roll. He's a goddamn professional, that's why you should get yourself a loaf. Yeah, I edited the vast majority of that out, because to be honest, that drive alone was probably 20-30 minutes. There's just no possible way I could have got the video under an hour. It would have had to have been a two-parter just because of that drive. But yeah, to the top corner, to this corner. I brought 6 metal rolls. The reason why is because I looked, and for block beta and block gamma I need 1 lot of medium pipes for each mission. So I've still got 4 metal rolls worth here, so I now just need to bring 2 lots of small pipes and I can get 2 metal 2 medium pipes. And you'll notice I've only built 1 set of medium pipes, and I did that on purpose because there is a warehouse that still has 1 set of medium pipes in it. And that was part of the reason I was able to sort of do this with the P16, because I only needed the ramp flatbed. But again, I thought I needed metal beams, not rolls, so that kind of screwed my plans pretty royally. So it started stalling in high, and then I think at this point, yeah, I've bumped into like a pretty fat rock with the front wheel. And this is where, like I said, just having no power to the front wheel, it's not climbing it as much. I only edited 10 seconds out there, but saved a bit more. I just found this quite funny that I tried beeping the horn, because it's worked with a loaf before, that it makes the rocks move. And I didn't specifically see that rock move, but I was flooring it against that rock for about 15-20 seconds on or whatever, and not moving. As soon as I beat the horn, the rock knew that it was now my bitch, and it moved. So yeah, that'll be a old trick up the sleeve for later on. I'll try that again. It might just be though the horn is a beast on this, but the horn is a beast on the loaf, and he can do the same thing. There's a trailer from ages ago. I just towed it from when I brought Bruce. I'd kind of abandoned that trailer. It was on like the steep Death Snow hill, so I just towed it behind me while I was on the way. Dropped it off there. I've got it nearer to the garage. Who knows? Maybe one day he'll make it back. I'm certainly right. I'm still a millionaire on this game, but I am running a little bit low on cash. I probably could have done with squeezing another 5 or 10 million out of that money glitch. Yeah, as you can see, getting up this hill, long story short, the P16 couldn't do it. I tried for quite a while. The goddamn horse. Had to send him in. And again, trying to bump over those rocks are a bit slow, but he got the job done. He got me to the top. And we're off. And I honestly don't think I would have made it up there without the loaf. I edited, I don't know, a good maybe 3 or 4 minutes just where I was like trying things out with the P16, seeing if I could get up there, and I couldn't. Well, not that far anyway. Yeah, this is the warehouse that is pretty much on the way. Just a quick turn off here, do a quick loop of the yard. Yeah, there's one lot of medium pipes left. Not sure what that yellow square is I just drove through. I'll have to investigate on that one. Unless it's something you got to drop a mission off for. Would have been very nice if there was 2 medium pipes left in there at that point. I think there originally was, but I'm sure you have to use one. I can't remember what mission it was for, if I'm honest. Might even have been the garage unlock. Or spring cleaning, or plant restoration, or sawmill blues. Something. See again though, these concrete blocks, I mean this isn't rapid, so it's probably less likely to take damage. That said, compared to some of the concrete blocks on other maps, like this is more than fast enough to delete your truck. And it's nice, that's how they should be. Keep it pinned, don't have to worry about losing tyres and suspension. I'm not really sure what the point is of building all this garage. Well, not garage, sorry, like factory thing or whatever. I assume, I don't know, is that where they're making rocket fuel? I thought there was like a fuel storage thing on Cosmodrome. Anyway. For what it's worth, I purposely go a bit wide the first time, because if, yeah, it's worse when you have to drag the trailer on the inside. It's pretty nice. That wasn't. I was hoping I could kind of scrape my nose around. So some medium pipes done. Again, sort of reversed it out of the way. And then last, but not least, I need wooden planks. I was originally going to drive to Cosmodrome and grab them from like the trailer store there, but in the end I kind of looked at this way and I thought I'll just go and grab some small logs. I was hoping, that's why I got the small log cradle thing on the back of the truck, and then yeah, drive to the sawmill, turn them into wooden planks, and then that's why I got the 2-slot trailer behind me. Now I will say at this point, the log station I'm going to, I can't get small logs from, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Also, from a little while ago when I did the mission Sawmill Blues, I left a ramped flatbed at the sawmill, so knowing what I know now, what I could have done instead of bringing this setup was, I'm pretty sure you can get like the long log thing on the back of the Zikz, brought a long log trailer as well, not bothered bringing a 2-slot trailer at the minute, got the long logs, got to the sawmill, cashed in the long logs, which would have also produced a lot more wood than I ended up taking medium. Yeah, and then I could have grabbed the ramped flatbed from the sawmill and got me wood, got me wood to the factory that way. And like I said, I was originally going to go to Cosmodrome, but then by the time I had to drive Bruce all the way to the corner and all the rest of it, I was thinking about it. I nearly did a road train with Bruce just to get a truck kind of over that way towards the sawmill, but then again I was looking and it's like, it was too much faffing around, and again the road trains can be pretty slow, so I ended up editing out most of Bruce's journey anyway. And yeah, like, other than the fact that Bruce's journey would have made the video well over an hour, that was the one drive that I hadn't really planned on, because I didn't realise I needed metal rolls to build the medium pipes. It's good that you can go over this bridge, but it'd be nice if they just got rid of those concrete things at either end of the bridge. Like, is it really that necessary? Again, it's like, it won't give anything away for free. If you want to use this shortcut, you've got to risk imploding your suspension and tyres to do it. That's precisely what I mean. I'm going to bring a loaf anyway, let's be honest, but if I have to cross this bridge and I'm leaving the garage, I am 100% of the time bringing a loaf, because that's what happens quite a lot. And the last time I came over here, it might have been the Dolphin, Tatra or this, I can't remember, but yeah. I think I blew 2 tyres and broke my suspension as well. Like I said, got a goddamn horse, gives you like a free second chance, fix yourself back up. So this is the way you could cut around, instead of like where I try and drive over that little rock cliff where the bridge is out. And so far, I seem to have fallen off it quite a lot. Yeah, this is like the way round, basically, sort of cut down that hill through this logging station, and thankfully, because it's about now, I suddenly remembered again. I'd already checked and realised that I couldn't get small logs from here, but then I forgot. I can't remember if I left that medium log trailer there from a little while back or not, but either way, thankfully there was a medium log trailer, because like I said, I couldn't get small logs, so I grabbed this. Now I'm towing that little 2-slot thing sort of behind, well, winching it behind me. And like I said, to be fair, strictly speaking, I could cut that 2-slot loose now, because I have got a 4-slot ramped flatbed at the sawmill. But as I brought it this far, I was worrying at this point, because you can see the small log cradle thing on the Zikz sticks out quite far back past the truck. And I was thinking, no, might look, it'll, even though it's allowed me to kind of attach the 2-slot trailer, I thought it might not let me attach this log trailer to my truck. And then this section along the river is actually pretty handy for kind of cutting up and down the middle of the map. I don't know what a log's doing, but it nearly made me tip the trailer. Like, what the hell are you doing, trailer? Yeah, it's a little bit like Lake Covd again, where that had like the sort of river spanning through the middle. And I've drove up and down various bits of this now, and there's not really many, if any, breakable ice sections. You can certainly work it out pretty easily. Like, you can see all along here, there's just that kind of dark blue icy sections, and yeah, none of this is breakable. You got all these chunks, kind of hoping now one doesn't try and fire out the ground and do what it did to Bruce earlier. But yeah, at least you can put your foot down a bit. It's things like this though, because I'm in the Zikz and it's not got the change, I've not got a lot of grip on this ice. I mean, certainly enough to drive along because I'm on a flat surface. But yeah, when you start hitting rocks, I can't really like bite in and pull myself or my trailer over rocks like you can when you're on the snow and mud and everything. But yeah, you can certainly see though it's a pretty quick way, and if I just carried on driving down, I could be down to the middle of the map, cut across here, could carry on following down the river like on this side, and get, yeah, pretty far down the bottom of the map, to be honest, in a relatively short amount of time. And you see again now, I tried going wide to sort of miss most of these rocks, but obviously found some. So a little 20-second edit or whatever, just in the end, like, it was having none of it, so I stuck a winch to the tree, pulled myself sideways, and then I was good to go again. Well, as you can see, I've kind of got 2 tyres back on snowy, muddy grip, back on the ice again now, but yeah, it was just enough. This section in the middle, at least, is breakable ice. You can see a little bit it's breaking now, and I've not sank through or anything. I'd start leaning a little bit there, but yeah, just skirt around the edge. But you can kind of tell when it's going to be breakable ice. And as far as running down like the river banks, I've not really come across any breakable ice there so far. Yeah, there's that ramped flatbed, so like I said, I could have just grabbed that at this point. I wish the log stations would just have all kinds of logs. All kinds of logs and unlimited. So cash them in, get some planks. Did that only give me 3 pieces of wood for an entire... So they must have changed that, because it used to, didn't it used to give you like 2 pieces of wood per log, but you'd have 3 logs within like the medium log delivery. I'm sure that used to be what it's like. I mean, thankfully I only needed 2 pieces of wood, but maybe I'll need more for like the block beta and block gamma. But I'll be honest, I forgot to check. But again, knowing what I know now, I would have been far better off bringing like a long log set up and then just grabbing that ramped flatbed when I'm there. And for sort of you guys as well, you probably would have done the sawmill blues before you do these missions. It's whether you left the trailer there or not. Like I said, I really don't care enough anymore that I will just leave trailers all over the place, but I certainly do it on purpose, like when I'm at the start of a map and everything, because there's a pretty high chance that it's going to come in handy at some point. And worst case, if it doesn't, then I'll tow it back at the end if I really want to. But yeah, I don't anymore like spend more time taking trailers back when I realise like a week later, oh, it would have been handy if I just left that trailer here, and I would have saved myself half an hour of driving it back to the garage. And now another half an hour of driving it back to where I need it. So yeah, definitely worth doing. Like I said, trailers and free range fuel trailers, scout fuel trailers and maintenance trailers. Scatter them all over the place. I can't remember what you can get out of that factory to the left of me actually. That we did plant restoration, I believe that one was called. I'll have to have a look, to be honest. I highly doubt it. I just thought for a second then, does that have medium pipes there? But the fact that they've specifically put a factory on this map where you can build medium pipes, then I doubt it. But you never know. You can also build metal beams there, and yet I've got a factory that just, or a yard, whatever, warehouse thing that I can get as many metal beams as I want, so maybe. To be fair, this is not a bad speed for the advanced special gearbox. The nice thing is, because it's got bigger tyres, and like I've said this before, it almost gears up your speed. Like, clearly the game rotates the tyres at the same speed for the advanced special in 5th gear out of 5th, but if you've got 61-inch tyres instead of 51-inch tyres, then you're getting like an extra 10 inches per revolution, and it just equates to a faster speed. That's a lot of the reason why the twin steer feels pretty rapid, because it's the truck with the biggest tyres that still has the high range gearbox. So when you put it in high gear, it feels like it's motoring, and if you get up into like 8th, yeah, it feels like it's flying pretty damn fast as well. I was just seeing, could I turn into that entrance, but for whatever reason they've just put bloody like immovable cargo containers scattered all over the place that you got to try and weave and cut through. I don't know why. That to me is just a bit stupid. If you're going to be reopening the plant, like, make me move the cargo containers out of the way. I'd be fine with that, sort of cleaning up the yard, but just making us try and weave through them and stuff seems a bit of an odd thing to do. Cut, of course. It had to happen. 3 meters from the finish. But anyway, 2 lots of wood, another little animation. Don't get as much built this time. I assume, well, there's 2 more missions to be done here, so there might be more animations to come on those ones, which I'll be getting done pretty damn soon. But yeah, at least there's a nice chunk of money for this one. Just kind of feels more worth it. But anyway, that's about it for today though. I hope you enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, thanks to my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf because he's a goddamn beast, and I'll be back soon.